why do we write particularly the kind of fantasy storylines that we do? Why are they different? Because Taylor's is more, the tagline that I came up with for her is not your mother's Tinkerbell. Because yes, it's about fairies, but it's not about anything remotely like Tinkerbell. It is really more like Tinkerbell goes to Avatar, which is another tagline that we have. So very, very cool and kind of steampunky, and it's a really gnarly storyline. So I encourage you to check it out, which you can do anytime, of course. And then for me, I just sort of randomly came up with, why don't I write about gargoyles? Because I knew there had been this animated storyline about it, and Taylor's husband knows about that and was a huge fan of that thing. I never actually watched it, so I didn't really have any gargoyle storylines to riff off of. So I just came up with my own. And so we write fantasy, but it's not the same kind of storyline, and different kind of things are going on. But in some respects, they're no huge surprise because we're related to each other. I think there are some common threads, what you might call red threads, that go through both the storylines, which are quite different, but still have some common kinds of themes. And those are the things that you will probably hear us talking about in the future. Maybe like hunker down on one theme and talk about it at length. We don't know. We're just kind of going along for the ride here too. But as our audience kind of informs us of what kind of questions they have or what they'd like us to talk about, then we're happy to do that. Because we really want this to be audience focused. So we're kind of helping you understand what are we doing and why are we doing it. So why don't we take a look at the next slide? I already kind of told you a little bit about me. There we go. There I am. See, I could turn my head around the other way. Then it looks kind of like there. Now I look sort of like the picture. Sort of that, but okay, that hurt. That was hitting the table and ouch.
Ooh.
So you already know we're related. So we're not really going along pacing very well with the slides. We'll try to do better next time on that. And we've already told you a little bit about the stuff that matters to us. Is there anything you want to add, Taylor, about the stuff that matters to you as a writer or current events or what have you?
Well, I think we've talked about, like you alluded to, you were inspired by Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, and so was I, and I think we could definitely expand on that quite a lot in the future. But another thing is that I know we're both inspired as well, like by certain movies and TV shows.
Yes.
Especially like themes and particularly well-written characters, that tends to get our attention pretty good. Story building that happens in those. So, I figure, maybe if this thing really gets some traction, maybe we'd like kind of do a bit of a topical focus on like, maybe it's a particular movie series and like what we appreciated about it and, some of the similarities and differences and stuff like that.
Cool. Yeah, I like that. Like that idea. That sounds good.